Welcome, everybody, to Gnarly Times. And I'm your host, Gnarly Vato. For the first episode of this, we'll be talking about my best friend who's been gone, going on 15 years this past Thanksgiving. His name is Nate Buford, better known as Big Nate or Nate Dogg. I met him when I was about 15 years old, 14 years old. My brother said we met him sooner. I don't really remember. But anyways, we went to jail together, four of us. Big Nate, my brother, another homeboy, and myself. This was in the beginning of 1995. And I did about almost 3 years in the youth authority. My brother did over about 3.5 years. Big Nate, he was one of the first guys tried in Tulare County as an adult. So he was sentenced to 7 years manslaughter, prison time. Well, the other homeboy, Tiny, he was sentenced the same amount as time as me, which was about 3.5 years for assault. Well, this assault resulted in a murder, which the victim, with no disrespect, died. Well, he died as a result of his actions. And his actions resulted in my pops almost dying. They tried us. We hit the jail system. Big Nate did YA time, then went to prison. Got out when I was like 23. Me myself, I did 7 years parole. Got off when I was 25. A lot of people have been hurt as a result of my crime. Victims, family. It's been a long time since this happened in 95. And a lot of people have suffered. Big Nate was murdered 13 years later after our crime. And now, oh boy, who did the homicide, he's doing life. You never realize the actions you do will result in something so tragic. Years later, when you ain't on your toes no more, you ain't watching. Times changed, people change, but memories always stay. Nate Dogg was set up. They murdered him, shot him in his own car, kicked him out on the road. That day he was shot. 3 other people were shot. I always think about him. I think about what it would have been like growing up with him. Times like that makes me want to be a better person, a better man. Want to do the right things. The crime happened in 2006, November 23rd. It says police have no leads in Saturday's shooting. Police have little to go in their investigation into Saturday's shooting that critically injured a Porterville man. Officers found Donald Nathan Buford, 27, lying on a street curb at the intersection of E Street and Walnut Ave. Buford suffered from a gunshot wound and was transported to Sierra View District Hospital. He was later transported to University Medical Center in Fresno. Buford was listed in critical condition on Sunday night. UMC Fresno did not make return calls on Monday for update information on Buford's condition. Porterville Police Department Sergeant Duncan Griffin said investigators have virtually no leads in this case. An unidentified caller notified police and requested officers check on the man lying in the street. No one heard gunshots or anything, Griffin said on Monday. No suspects have been identified in connection with Saturday's shooting. Anyone with information related to the shooting is asked to contact detectives. Well, they ended up catching the guy and tried him. And it was a guy who my brother and I and my 2 homeboys, heard him beat him up where he died and caught manslaughter. So as a result of beating him up, he died from his wounds. So the nephew of the victim got revenge 13 years later. And now he's doing time. So don't think people can get away for so long, because people always plotting and waiting. And that's why this tale of this gnarly times is about revenge. People wait years and years. Even now I wait, watch. Is somebody coming for me? Who knows? We don't know our time. Big Nate did 2 terms in prison. He did 2.5 years in a violation. Big Nate was involved with about 3 different murders. Big Nate was a big guy, about 6'3". Nice. Now, I sit back and realize about my life and the consequences of my actions. There's still a lot more to this tale of Big Nate. In the end, he's been gone. He's like a legend, a memory. They still do not got a headstone for his plot, which has been 15 years. I remember when he got out of jail one time, me and my old lady picked him up and we took him to see that movie with Tom Hanks in the ball when he was stranded on the island. And that whole time I sat watching that movie, I was thinking if that's what he felt like when he was in jail alone. Big Nate was the nicest dude. They sent him to group homes, foster homes. He was up in Washington at his grandma's. He used to get jumped. They jumped him for a starter jacket. He had some hard times until he found me and my brother and my sister, my family. And we embraced him like one of our own, which he gave his life and died as a result of our actions when we were juveniles. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about our loss. His loss. His family's loss. His mom never liked my brother and I. And my brother's a year older than me. And Big Nate, me and him were the same age. Big Nate was our road dog. He'd sleep on the floor whenever he want, come over, eat, crash. He didn't even have to knock. He liked that my sister at one time. I think to this day, Nate Dogg was in Folsom at 17 and a half, 18 years old. And did 5.5 there. Got out 3 months. Did 2.5 years. Anyways, this is a story about Nate Dogg, Big Nate, Buford, from Porterville, California, the west side. He's no longer here. He's been gone for a while. I moved out of town years ago, about 6 months after he passed. Everybody wanted revenge. So, you gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them. This is one tale that I have. There's many more to come with Nate Dogg about Porterville / Bottles. So next spiel, next chapter. Can't wait for it. This is the spiel for real from Gnarly Vato. And these are gnarly times.